Shalom, Ahab, Wa, Baraka. First and foremost, Kal Hala, La Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruchakadash. Double honors to all of the sincere brothers and sisters that have the name sealed in their head. Now, we're going to have to get into it. Because, the elder, Apostle Gabar, actually brought this out. And I thought this was phenomenal because a lot of people don't know this. And so I wanted to bring it out on my channel also. So let's look into it a little bit. Let's go ahead, and I need to turn this all the way down now. I don't want any volume on this because I don't know if I'll get struck for playing it out loud. So what we will do is watch the images, and I'm going to read a little something to you because let's start off with this year, IUIC, they celebrated their Passover starting on April 19th. And it kind of exposes them because it's, I don't know if they knew or if it's just in the power of the Spirit. But April 19th, and for 13 days after that, is the 13 days of Baal. And when you look up Baal, you're going to find out Baal, Moloch, and Nimrod are all the same. They're all the same person. Depends on what time frame you're in. But let's get right into it. So I'm just going to read it. I like to write everything down that I see, so I just wrote it down in my own personal notes. But you can actually look this stuff up. First of all, April 19th is the first day of the 13-day satanic ritual relating to fire and the fire god Baal or Molech or Nimrod, or the sun god, also known as the Roman god Saturn or Satan or the devil, which is in their culture, in this culture, I guess, Satan and the devil and all these guys, they're all the same. It just depends on, like I said, what time frame you're in. So what year, like, is it, what dynasty or what rulership? So anyway, this day is a major human sacrifice day, demanding blood sacrifice with an emphasis on children. And so with an emphasis on children. Leviticus 18 and 21. You must not give any of your children to be sacrificed to Molech, for you must not profane the name of Yahweh. I am the Lord. And so when you go into all the different translations, they all say the same thing. I read the New International Version, but I'm going to read it in the King James for all my brothers and sisters. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of Yahweh. I am the Lord. No matter what, it's all saying the same thing. So the fire and the sacrifice with an emphasis on children, you know, you should know right away this isn't something for an Israelite. This day is one of the most important human sacrifice days for these beasts of the field, these wicked, evil human beings that call themselves the other nations. But mainly, this actually doesn't. It goes back to it's Hamitic, honestly, or Kemet, or however you want to say it. It's Hamites. All of it goes back to Ham. So when the Romans are doing this stuff, they're just stealing it from the Egyptians. That's where they get everything from. Well, let's watch them. Let's watch them do their thing. This is Birmingham, I think, is where this is at. This is something like that. They're having a let's see what it's called. A festival to Molech. So, as you can see, they're a complete blasphemy. There we go. There. So, you can see what they're doing. They're worshiping. This is probably what the Israelites look like worshiping the golden calf. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing new under the sun, guys. There's nothing new under the sun. But we can clearly see that they've been doing this. Man, if I could get this damn thing to sit right, I'd be super happy. All right, that's good enough. So, this is a really important human sacrifice day for Satanists. And like I said, these wicked other nations. Some very historic events occur on and around this time period. All right, guys, I want to get into a few of the things that have happened in the month of April. And it's a lot. There's a lot going all the way up, starting from, let's start from, because it literally starts in April. So in April 11th, April 11th, 1965, you had Palm Sunday tornado outbreak. So they were doing their little Christian worship, and dozens of tornadoes raked 6 Midwestern states, and Palm Sunday killing 271 people. The 4th deadliest tornado outbreak in U.S. history. Then also President Roosevelt dies. Jewish Community Center shootings on April 13th, 2014. 2012, Jewish killed the Fraser Glenn Cross sentenced to death for killing 3 in Jewish center shooting. So the Most High is going to, oh, here's one. Do you remember this? Assassination of President Lincoln. Boston Marathon bombing. Notre Dame Cathedral fire. Mass shooting in Virginia Tech. West Texas fertilizer plant explosion. San Francisco earthquake, 1906. The eve. This is the eve of the Day of Molech. So now we're getting to the Day of Molech. Remember this? Branch Davidian siege in Waco. What did they do in Waco? They burned them to death. And you know what? Waco is April 19th, 1943. April 19th, 1993. That's literally exactly 50 years after a major massacre during what they were calling the Holocaust. Let me find it real quick. Oklahoma City bombing, shooting at Columbine High School, April 20th, Deepwater Horizon explosion. But let me get the World War II. Watch this. April 19th, 1943, World War II, Nazi Holocaust camp. Warsaw, here it is. The Warsaw Ghetto Uprising began. So this is where they took a bunch of people and they were down in the drain pipes. And what happened is they were fighting anyway, they were having a fight. But the Nazis came in with flamethrowers and they burned all of these so-called Jews. We'll just call them Jewish for the sake of argument. So these Jewish people were burned. And what they did was they came in the drain pipes and the sewer pipes, I think. And they burned both ends until everybody was completely neutralized. Let's just say it like that. And the 50 years to the day after that, you got the Waco disaster, where they went in 50 years to the day after that. And in Waco, what did they do? They went in and burned all the people that were in that Christian, I'm going to say cult, but I don't know what they were doing in there. They were just trying to live by the Bible, but you already know how that goes. They don't understand the scriptures. But anyway, they went in and burned every single person. And anybody that tried to run out of the burning flames, they were met with gunfire. So if you ran out of the building, you were getting shot to death. I actually have family that lives in Waco. So I don't know if you guys are getting it or not, but what I read to you right now is this day is a major human sacrifice day demanding blood and fire sacrifice with an emphasis on children. So what it's like in the picture you're looking at right now on the screen, with an emphasis on children. Yeah, there it is. That's July 3rd, 1933. Molech Baal, or also known as aka Nimrod, worship at Soldier Field, and this is part 1. So if you want to watch this and hear all the distorted background noise on your own time, that's where you would go to find that. And I'm not going to play the volume like I said, because I don't want to get a strike or whatever. So the thing is, though, is there's a camp out there, the Israelite camp, IUIC. They're celebrating their Passover right now on the days of Molech. He drove in on a horse, like he was the king over all Israel, which is a really bad thing right now, because as Israelites, we know that Yahushua is the king. So without him being here, we have no king. We got elders, we got prophets, we've got apostles, we've got teachers, we've got disciples, we got bishops and deacons, but we do not have a king yet. So for him to come out calling himself a king, or not even he's not calling himself a king, but he's portraying himself as one. It's a really bad deal, because at the same time, he's doing it during the worship of Baal. In fact, what does the Most High say about the 13 days of Baal? I mean, shouldn't that be in the scriptures, since there's nothing new under the sun? I mean, it is. Let's go to the book of Hosea, chapter 2, KJV. And let's go down to verse 13 and go right to the point. And I will visit upon her the days of Balaam. Balaam is another way of saying Baal. What are the days of Balaam? The 13 days that they have a celebration and worship, wherein she burned incense to them. Who is she? Israel. And she decked herself with her earrings and her jewels. Israel. And Israel went after her lovers and forgot me, saith Yahweh. Now, I'm going to read it in context. And I will visit her upon the days of Balaam, wherein she burned incense unto them. And she decked herself in her earrings and her jewelry. And she went after her lovers and forgot me, saith Yahweh. So, it's telling you that Israel has turned their back on Yahweh to worship false gods. Now, I could have swore it says, watch this, because that's exactly what we're doing right now. We're worshiping false gods. So what did it say? You watch this. This is one of the greatest. This is one of the greatest answers to a question. So what I'm trying to say is, we actually we're worshiping. Well, not us, but for the majority of the people, they're worshiping false gods the same way they did back in biblical times. And the Most High said that He would put a curse on us and force us to worship false gods for not following His instruction, for being enticed by the false gods, thinking that it would be a better life with them. So what did He say? And there you shall serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. So we're still doing that to this day. We're still worshiping the day of Baal. Nimrod was an actual person that they turned into a god after he died. He never came back to life. Or the daughters of Zion wouldn't have mourned over Tammuz. And when you go into the story of Tammuz, you'll find out that he is the reincarnation of Nimrod, which turns out to be Molech or Baal or Balaam. They're all the same. So I wasn't even trying to make this long. And I only wanted to bring out a couple scriptures, so I'm going to do that. Let's go straight to the book of 2 Kings. All right, let's get it. 2 Kings chapter 17, starting from verse 7. Why Israel fell is the headline over this. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against Yahweh their God, which had brought them out of the land of Egypt from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared other gods, and walked in the statutes of heathen, whom Yahweh cast out from before the children of Israel, and of the kings of Israel, which they had made. And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against Yahweh their God. And they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city. And they set them up images and groves in every high hill and under every green tree. So when you worship wood, back in the day, wood and stone, that's the stone is being a Muslim, Mecca, Islam, and the wood is Christianity. And the way Christianity started is because it was honestly they were worshiping what we consider Christianity today. They were worshiping fertility gods. And that was illegal. So what would they do? They would go hide out in the groves. And let's go ahead and get a precept on that. And because they did certain things when they hid out in those groves, probably the two things that Yahweh hates the most. And what are those two things? What are the two things that Yahweh hates the most? Let's find out. Isaiah chapter 66, KJV. Going right to the point. Go down to verse 17. And they sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden behind one of the trees in the midst, eating swine's flesh. The gardens, the trees, that's the groves, if you're not familiar with that. Eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord. So you're going to be destroyed for doing this. But the point is this is how it started. They would go hide out in the groves, the garden behind the trees. And what would they do? They would worship false gods and eat swine's flesh. So let's go back over to 2 Kings. And we're going to pick up where we left off and go right to verse 11. And there they burnt incense in all the high places, and did as did the heathen whom Yahweh carried away before them, and wrought them. Hold on. We don't want to get too far into it. We'll just play this again. So, and there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen whom Yahweh carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke the Lord to anger. Okay? For they served idols, whereof Yahweh had said unto them, ye shall not do this thing. So what were they doing? They were out serving idols. And who were they? Israelites. I'm only talking to Israel. I could give a rat's ass about the other nations celebrating this stuff. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. But when I see my brothers and sisters destroying themselves, I cannot, I can't handle it. Let's just say that. I can't handle it. I'd like to see our people doing the right thing and let everybody else do what they do. You know? Let me read one more, though. Let me read one more. I didn't put this one in, but I didn't realize it said this. Yet the Lord testified against Israel. The Lord testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets. So who's telling you that you're doing wrong? The prophets. All you have to do is listen to the prophets. Get your mind right. Break the social construct that's been built up against you and move on. Get back to the word. It's not easy. It's not easy. No one said it's going to be easy. The only thing that's easy is falling away. It's easy to do shit that you're not supposed to, or you wouldn't do it. But it's not easy to do the right thing, clearly, in this day and age when you've been taught evil for good and good for evil. And so let me start again. Yet Yahweh testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, turn ye from your evil ways and keep my commandments, like I tell you in every class, and my statutes, like I tell you in every class, according to all the laws which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servant the prophets. By my servant the prophets. We're the prophets. We're the servants. We're bringing you this message. And it's in sincerity. I got one more verse and then I'm gonna close out. Judges chapter 2, KJV. Now these are just old notes, so I'm sometimes I'd be just as surprised as you guys when they when they come up. And this one's perfect. After all that stuff I told you, this is what verse that was where I was going to close out at. And they forsook Yahweh, and they served Baal and Ashtaroth. Now you got to remember, you had Easter, which is Ashtaroth, and her celebration. It's a fertility celebration, and now we have the 13 days of Baal. These two are a husband and wife team. They work together. I actually had some information on them too, but I didn't write it down, so my bad. I got one last verse. Revelation chapter 22. And we're going to go right down to 12. You guys already know what I'm going to say. You guys are going to know. If anybody that listens to me, you're going to know this verse by heart. You're going to know that this verse, you're going to know it clearly. You're going to have it drilled into your system. Revelation 22 and 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according to his work shall be. Skipping down to 18. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, Yahweh shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. 19. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Yahweh shall take away his part out of the book of life, and go out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book. So, if you've got eyes to see and you got ears to hear, I hope you're able to get something out of this message. Shalom.